Hello there. I want to present to you a simple tip for woodworking. Uh, this is real simple, basic stuff, but if you're a new guy and you've not been working with tools of any kind, and particularly with hand tools for a very long time, uh, then you may not know. But depending on your climate and even like the oils in your skin, how acidic they are when you handle your tools, stuff like that, uh, it's very, very difficult to overstress how rapidly rust can become a problem with your tools. And if you're like me, most of my tools were bought secondhand or they were given, and they're vintage, they're old. That's what that means. Uh, doesn't mean they're worth a whole lot. They're just old tools, but they're solid in good shape. But I spent a lot of time getting them back in working order, freeing them from rust, setting them up, all kinds of things. Okay, so if you did that, or if you are fortunate to have the money to be able to buy more expensive tools, new tools, then you've invested a lot of money in your tools. The last thing you want is for them to rust. So just a couple of simple, quick tips for guys like me that are new. It's basic stuff. The first thing I would tell you, and I'll get to the other in a minute, is that every time you use a tool, whether it's a hand plane, whether it's a chisel, whatever it is, even a hammer, okay, clean it when you're done for your work that day. If you've got a plane, take the cap iron and the lever cap and the blade and take them out. Take the blade and the cap iron apart. Clean, wipe all those surfaces clean of dust and dirt and wood chips. Make sure the frog inside the bed that the blade lays on doesn't have a bunch of wood chips and dust and stuff like that. Clean all of that out. Wipe it, and then this is what I do. Some guys have like an oil in a can or a rag in a can. And there's a popular woodworker here on YouTube that espouses that a lot, and a lot of people get it off of him, but that's an old thing that was done for a long time. He didn't invent it. And if you ask him, I'm pretty sure he'll tell you, no, that's something that I learned 40 years ago or whatever. Okay, so, but that's a good thing to have. I just simply use this, an oily rag. That's all that it is. It's a rag that I put a couple of drops on and wipe my tools down with. And the next time I put a couple more drops on and wipe my tools down with it. And sooner or later what happened is this rag is permeated with oil. And now I don't even have to put any oil on it. All I got to do is when I've cleaned my plane off, for example, is run this on all the wooden surfaces. Before I put my cap iron and my plane blade back together, I would wipe it down with this. Well, I would wipe inside the frog. Any surface that does not have any kind of Japanning, that's what this coating in here is. Any bare surface, wipe it down with a very, very thin. You don't need gobs and gobs of oil hanging on the tool to draw dirt and dust and all kind of stuff like that. Just a very thin layer of oil is all that you need, and it will help to keep rust at bay. The second thing is something that guys that use power tools and have table saws and joiners and band saws and all kind of things like that have used for decades. And that's a paste wax. This is Minwax, paste finishing wax. But now, a lot of guys use the Johnsons. I couldn't find Johnson, so I picked Minwax. But this is the kind of stuff that they would use on bowling alley floors. It's not a wax like a furniture wax or an automobile wax. It doesn't make things shiny and slick. That's not its purpose. Its purpose is to put a hard, protective coating over whatever you're placing it on to protect it. So your saws, your everything, all your metal tools, put a small layer of that wax on it, let it harden up a little bit, buff it until all the excess is gone off of it, and that will go a long way, along with that oily rag or can of rag or whatever they call that thing, or whatever other method some might use. Along with that, those two things will keep your tools free of rust if you're diligent about them. In some areas of the country that are really like maybe Texas or parts of California, you may not have any problem at all with rust, or very little, because your humidity is very low most of the time, and so it's not as big a concern. But if you live in Washington State, or someplace like that where the humidity is much higher, then you have to be more vigilant. But those two steps right there will take care. If you clean it every time you use it after you're done for the day, and oil it, keep it waxed about once every 6 months or something like that. That will preserve your tools. It will preserve your investment, and you'll have a lot more fun working wood. You can spend that time doing that instead of just taking steel wool or something and get the rust off your tools. So, all right, I hope this helped you. God bless you. Later.